Good morning, Trade Thirsty. Somebody says, are you there? I'm here. This is Alabama. I'm 1 minute early. Isn't that a good thing, right? I'm 1 minute early over here. It's Central Time in Alabama, 9 a.m. here, but 10 a.m. Eastern is our kickoff time. We've got a great guest here with us this morning, Jeff Tompkins. I'd like to say good morning to everybody that's here. Make sure that sound's checking out okay and that you can see my screen. How about I get some ones in the chat box if you can hear me and you can see my screen. I guess you can hear me because you're throwing some ones. All right. Good morning. I love seeing where people are from. Thank you, Alan, for telling me. Good morning, Maryland. I'm in Roll Tide country down here. That's that's what we say if you are a University of Alabama fan, which I am. And okay, so you should be seeing my screen. You should be able to hear me, and you're going to have that same experience when I transfer you over to our speaker for today. And I'd like to tell you a little bit about him. Was anybody in here yesterday? Oh, look at you throwing that Go Tigers at me. That's not very nice. That's not how we play in my house. So who was here yesterday? Anybody here yesterday with Jeff and me? We did a session yesterday and spent some time talking about how he and his team make money in the markets. And I interviewed him several months back. And you know, at Trade Thirsty, we're always looking for somebody to bring on here to share with you what they're doing. Like, how are they doing it? What is it? Software? Is it alerts? Is it education? Is it all of that? And not only is it just this amazing thing that they found that works for them, but can they transfer that information to you in a simplistic way where you can repeat it? Because that's the only way you're really going to make money in this market. I would not recommend you just go read a book and jump in with your hard-earned money and jump off the bridge, because that's literally what it would be like jumping off a bridge. No paddle, no boat, no friends, no family, no phone, you in the water, and I hope you can swim. It's very, very, very difficult unless you have somebody that you can sort of share that journey with. And so one thing that turned me on about Jeff is that he is a real trader. He's trading his own money, and he's using this methodology he's going to talk about today. And it revolves around one of the top indicators that you probably already have right there on your system, right there in front of you. You're just maybe using it or using it the wrong way. And also one thing, I mentioned this yesterday if you were with us, but I'm going to say it again, that as a trader, we get into these trades and we focus on entering and we focus on profits, and we may be focusing on where we're wrong, right? Where our protective stop is and what type of order that is, etc. But at the end of the day, when we get in a bad trade, all that goes out the window. All we're thinking about is, how can I get out of this as fast as possible with the least amount of damage to my funds? That's it, and that's all. With your head in the trash can and you hanging on to the door for dear life, trying to figure out if you're going to run or you're going to stay in this market, how do you manage the bad ones? And that is something that really opened my eyes to Jeff and his team and how they handle it. Getting in, getting out, excellent if you're making money, right? But when you're not, it's always good to have a written plan of how you're going to handle that, and he's going to share that with you today. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce him by sharing his screen. Let's give him the power. I call it the power because I always try to give him a little heads up before I'm giving him the power. We don't want him sharing, family photos of, their 85 cats that are in the room next door, because I just don't know, that might be a little weird. Just might be a little weird. Maybe not a lot weird, maybe a little weird. All right, Jeff, you should be able to take over now.
I think I got it.
Oh, I hear you. I always love it when I can hear some clear sound. It's that scary moment as an owner of a company where you've invited a guest speaker. If they don't show up, what are we going to do next? I'll just end up giving away a bunch of money on PayPal through trivia or something. And my business partner will call me Monday morning and say, what happened? Be like, well, their mic broke. What do you want me to do?
I took my crazy cat photos down for you. So.
That is amazing, and I appreciate that. So, all right. So this is Jeff Tompkins, everybody, and he's here to spend the next hour with you. We appreciate everybody getting up on this Saturday morning, and we're going to be here for just a short bit of time together. So y'all give him a big welcome from the Trade Thirsty family, and I'm going to let him take over now.
Hey, thanks, Jeanette. Thanks to everybody at Trade Thirsty. Thanks to Hubert. Really, really excited to be here this morning. The sun has just risen in Boise, so that's where I reside. And thanks to everybody for joining this morning. Happy to have you here. We've got some really exciting content for you. This is actionable stuff that you're going to be able to walk away with today at the end of our session and actually use in your trading to become more consistent and profitable. So I'm really excited for all of you for being here. So our focus is how to use one indicator to predict the markets. and I'm going to show you guys how to be on the right side of the trade the vast majority of the time. And I want to kind of take a quick poll before we get into the content and ask you guys, and I know that we have probably a few new traders on this morning, but I'm sure we have some seasoned veterans here as well. So just out of curiosity, how many people on today were trading last year in 2018? Just give me a quick yes in the chat box. Or maybe you weren't, maybe you were paper trading or just getting started. Or Oswald says yes, Alan yes, Michael yes, Joe yes. A lot of people traded last year. It was quite a wild ride. It was like Mr. Toad's wild ride last year, right? So we had 4 major market corrections, and I'm gonna hone in on those a little bit and show you guys. Well, really, what I'm gonna do is teach you guys how you could have capitalized on those moves or avoided them and avoided losses. Hopefully, nobody lost any significant sums of money during those corrections. But you know, unfortunately, we talked to plenty of traders who did, and I'm going to show you guys how you could have actually made some money on these moves using one simple indicator. So I want you to imagine if you could have actually predicted these ahead of time, because what I'm going to teach you guys today would have allowed you to do that. So this one momentum indicator predicted every correction last year, right? It predicted the flash crash of 2015 an entire day before it happened. It predicted the 10% correction in October 2014, 2 weeks before the sell-off occurred. And it also predicted the crash in July 2011, if you guys were trading back then, several days before the bears began driving prices into the ground. It also predicted the major sell-off in 2008. That was a really drastic one, right? The market lost more than half of its value during that crash. So this isn't these aren't one-off examples. This isn't a fluke. This actually works consistently, and it works long-term. So that's the beauty of it. So I want to show you that so you can visualize it on a chart. This is a chart of the S&P 500, SPX, and I'm going to highlight where these sell-offs occurred. And again, it looks like a lot of you were trading back in 2018, so I'm sure you remember these. The first one was towards the latter part of January into February. We saw a 10% correction, reversion to the mean at the 200-day moving average. And we saw another one in March. This one was not quite as significant, but also a reversion to the 200-day moving average. Then we had a nice uptrend, right, for quite a while, kind of in the mid part of the year, and then another one in October. This time we actually broke through the 200-day average, and we're trading below for a couple of weeks until we recovered back above, and then again just got killed in December, right? The market topped out near 2,800, and huge sell-off there down into the 2,300 level on the S&P. So if you weren't prepared for these moves, or you weren't implementing the correct strategy, you could have really gotten hurt. And I'm going to teach you guys how you could have predicted these ahead of time. Before I do that, I want to give you just a little background about myself if you haven't been exposed to any of our teachings. I have 20 years of experience trading the stock, options, and futures market. I am a professional trader. I do trade for a living. I trade my own money. I founded the Trading Profit about 5 years ago. I'm the chief investment strategist, and we have over 17,000 members worldwide who we have taught and coached to become better, more consistent, profitable traders. And the reason I became a professional trader is really to achieve freedom, and not just financial freedom, but freedom to do what I want with my time. I'm a big outdoors guy, so again, I live here in Boise. I live right on the Boise River. I get out there and fly fish pretty regularly. I like to go out and golf and do things outdoors. So that's really the reason that I trade. I don't want to be stuck in an office somewhere. Of course, love the money. I love to travel and all those things that do cost money, unfortunately. But in any case, the point is I like to have free time, and that's what we strive for our members, is to be able to achieve freedom so they can do what they want with their time. I'm also the founder and creator of Trade Trend Signal software. We'll talk a little bit about that later in the presentation. So by the end of our session today, I'm going to show you guys how you can use one special indicator that's available for free in any trading platform. And you can use this to predict market moves. Now we've all, heard, well, indicators are lagging, they really don't do a whole lot of good, because by the time, the indicator gives a signal, the move's already taken place. And that is unfortunately true most of the time. But what I'm going to teach you guys today is that you're actually going to discover this one particular indicator that is somewhat of an anomaly, and it does have leading components, and I'll show you how and why that is. The cool thing is this works for stocks, options, futures, forex. So I'm sure we have members on here that are trading options or whatever market you trade, it works. So that's the beauty of it. And once you learn the correct way to use it, you're not going to look at the markets or trading the same way again. And I say that out of personal experience. Once I learned to use this particular indicator and technique and read it correctly and implement it correctly, I've never looked at trading or markets the same way again. And you won't either. So what are you going to discover? You're going to discover why momentum is so vital to trading success. You're going to discover how to read momentum shifts and continuations. And trust me, this is going to completely turn your trading around. You're going to discover how to use momentum as a leading indicator, not a lagging indicator. Okay, I promise you that. And you're going to discover how momentum can predict market moves, right? Because if we can't, none of us have a crystal ball, right? But if we can't have some degree of reliable, predictive qualities in our trading, how are we going to make money? There are, of course, other components. We need to use good money management. We need to use good trading psychology. And we'll teach you how to do that as well. But if we don't have an idea of where the market's headed, it's going to be very difficult to make money. And then I'm going to show you guys how to get your hands on a tool that will change your trading forever. I think you guys are really going to love that. It's an added bonus. So I want you to imagine a bowling ball. You'll notice I have a picture of a bowling ball on the right side of the screen. You might think that's a bit odd for a trading presentation, right? But the reason I have it is because the principle that I'm going to teach you around this bowling ball applies to the markets. And that's momentum. So how many people out there have bowled at some point in their life? Probably most of you have it, maybe at a birthday party, or maybe we've got some professional bowlers out there. I don't know. I'm a terrible bowler, but I do enjoy going from time to time. So can you guys hear me okay? I've got a couple of people saying no audio has started yet. Are we good?
Yep, I can hear you. I can hear you. And we're getting some yeses on our side. I think some people are individually having a problem, so I'll address them.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Jeanette. So the bowling ball example is interesting because it's very predictable, right? We don't have to have any background in physics to know that if we walk up to the lane and wind the bowling ball back and release it from our fingertips, I'm going to venture to say that everybody on the presentation today knows what's going to happen. The ball is going to roll down the alley. Maybe it'll roll down the gutter if you're a bad bowler like me. But in any case, it's going to roll down the alley until something stops the ball, right? So the reason it does that is because it has momentum. And there was a catalyst that put that set that momentum in place. And that was the force of your arm, right? So until it hits the pins or the end of the lane, the ball is going to keep rolling. And that's what momentum is. So I don't want to get into a physics lesson here, but just so you know, momentum in physics is the property or tendency of a moving object to continue moving. So for an object that moves in a line, and this is key here, an object that moves in a line, the momentum is the mass of the object multiplied by its velocity. So this is what's referred to as linear momentum. And this is actually applicable to trading and to the markets. The reason is because in trading, there's also momentum, and that's how we get trends. That's why we see trend movement on charts. The difference is the catalyst. So rather than the bowling ball example where our arm is causing the ball to gain momentum, it's buying and selling pressure, supply and demand. But the principle is still the same, is that you get linear momentum on charts and in the markets. And it doesn't matter what market it is. It doesn't matter if it's forex, futures, options, stocks. It's universally applicable. Okay, so I want you to keep this example in mind because it's an important principle to understand as we get into the meat of our topic today. So why is momentum so important in trading? Well, first of all, it measures the velocity of price changes compared to current price levels, and that's important. So it's measured by continually taking price differences for a fixed time period, right? So it does use some past price data, but it's using it in a way that gives us predictive value. So a momentum value above 0 indicates that prices are moving up, and below 0 indicates prices are moving down. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now here's the cool thing, right? The topic of our presentation today is focusing on market crashes, because I want you guys to be prepared for the next crash. It's going to happen. Okay, so when it does, I want you guys to make money on it. That's the key. But it also works on the way up. So we've been in an extraordinary bull market over the past decade, right? So if you had a long bias strategy, it's been relatively easy to make money in the markets. That's going to change. It's already changing right now. So you're probably going to find, regardless of what strategy you're using, that it's going to become a little bit more difficult to make money in the markets right now, because as we saw in 2018, we're seeing these major high implied volatility environments, big corrections. This makes it much more difficult. But when you can pinpoint these momentum shifts, it's going to make it much easier for you. And you can actually make money on the way up too. So momentum doesn't just measure rates of rise, but it also measures rates of fall. Vice versa. It doesn't just measure rates of fall, but also rates of rise. So you can make money on the way up. And the one indicator we're going to focus on today can predict market shifts. So this incredible indicator can actually pinpoint turning points in stocks, futures, forex. You can use it to pinpoint opportunities to buy calls and puts if you're an options trader, and it does it with astounding accuracy. So this is a chart of the SPY, the S&P 500, and you'll notice there was a major sell-off on the left side of the chart, followed by a rebound. And this arrow actually shows where the indicator that we're going to reveal here in a second pinpointed this shift in the market, the shift in momentum. And look at the money you could have made if you had bought a call option, or if you had bought, if you're a futures trader, if you bought the E-mini S&P. There's a lot of ways we can make money on this. I'm going to show you guys all those ways, but I just want you to know this is what this indicator is capable of, and this is the predictive value, right? Because this actually showed us after this major sell-off where the market was headed in the future, which was back up. Okay, and it works both directions. So keep that in mind. Okay, there are a couple dozen momentum indicators out there on all the retail trading platforms. Again, they're available for free to everybody. The key is, how do we implement them? How do we interpret them? How do we implement them? How do we make money off of them? That's the trick, right? Is knowing how to do that. So here are just a small handful of some of the more common ones: the ADX, the Average Directional Movement Index, Commodity Channel Index, the MACD, the RSI. You guys have probably heard of all of these, I would guess. I want to focus in on the one that really has the best predictive value out of this list, and that's the MACD. So you'll notice there that I've inform you that it reveals changes in the strength, direction, momentum, and duration of a trend and price. Not just the stock price, but again, any market. It works universally. Okay, so we're going to focus in on the predictive qualities of the MACD, right? Because remember the bowling ball example, the momentum example. Once the momentum is set in place, if we can know when that occurs, we know with a high probability, a high degree of accuracy, that momentum is going to continue. And again, this is how trends develop in markets until something stops it. And for a long bias trade, that's going to be sellers moving into the market and driving prices back down, or vice versa, if buyers come in and drive prices up. So if you haven't used the MACD or aren't completely familiar with what it is, I'll let you know. I'm sure many of you have heard of it. It is a momentum indicator again, and it's short for moving average convergence divergence. So this one was developed by Gerald Appel in the 70s, so it's been around a long time, right? And it reveals, again, changes in strength, direction, momentum, and duration. So keep that in mind. Now, that's all great, right? But how do you read it? How do you use it as a predictive indicator? And how do you apply it to your trading strategy? That's the big question mark, right? How are you going to make money with it? That's really what we all care about. So the MACD cross is one of the best ways to use this particular technique to predict market moves. There are a lot of ways to use the MACD, right? You can use it as a divergence indicator, overbought, oversold indicator, but really the cross is what tells us where the momentum is going. So a buy signal is generated when the MACD line crosses above the signal line. And the sell signal is generated when the MACD line crosses below the signal line. Okay, pretty straightforward. So let's visualize that on a chart. This is again a chart of the S&P 500, the SPX, and it's the same time period that we looked at previously. It's a daily chart covering 2018. Okay, the Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, as I like to call it, that year. So the first one, so I've got the MACD plotted. You can see at the bottom of the screen. The first cross, and there is significance, by the way, and I wish we had time to go through all this today. We're limited to about an hour together. You know, where these crosses occur all carry significance and weighting. The slope and degree of the cross all carry significance. So there's a lot more that we can, you know, we can take a much deeper dive into how to read these. But for the purposes of our limited time today, I just want to make sure you understand the basics. So we can get in, you know, at later times on how to actually interpret these in a more accurate manner. But for the purposes of today, I want to show you how these crosses impact these market moves and impact momentum. So here's the first one. This one is the January sell-off we're looking at, right? So you'll notice the cross occurred right about there, pretty close, darn close to the top. Would have given us a fairly good warning a couple days that, hey, the momentum shifting, the market could be selling off. We're quite a bit above the 200-day moving average. A reversion to the mean is highly likely. Here was the March one. Look at that cross. And it gave us pretty good warning. It got us in a little bit after the move started to occur, but it did a pretty good job at giving us some warning before we sold off into the 200-day moving average. October. There's another cross. This one did an even better job. It actually gave us about a week's worth of warning before this major correction occurred in October. And by the way, you can see that these crosses occur all over the place, and they do a pretty nice job at letting us know when the market's going up too. But again, I want you guys to be prepared for when the next correction happens. It's going to happen, and I don't want you guys losing money. I want you making money on it. So this is the next, the last one on the chart, the December sell-off. This one gave us some pretty good warning before we sold off into the 2300 level, but it didn't get us right at the top. It got us in after we topped out at about 2800. It looks like it alerted us kind of right around the 2650 level. So it's still pretty good, right? So hopefully you can see this is clear to you guys how predictive these MACD crosses can be. And again, these aren't flukes, these aren't one-offs. Remember that first or second slide that we looked at with all the examples, the 2008 crash, 2011, you know, it does this with a high degree of accuracy over the long term. Okay, and that's important, because if something's going to work just for, you know, next year or for 2019 or for 2020 and then stop, what's the point? Then you're going to be stuck trying to find something else that works. This works long term. That's key. We don't teach things that only work for a few months or a year or a couple years. Everything we teach works. I've been using this stuff for 20 years and it works long term. All right, now here's the cool thing. I showed you guys about 4 momentum indicators. So when you combine these indicators in the right way, and then you use other techniques like volatility studies, price action setups, you can actually do a lot better than the MACD alone. It's a synergistic effect. So the MACD by itself is great, as I just demonstrated. I think it's pretty clear. But when you use a combination of indicators, of these momentum indicators, it creates a synergy that is absolutely incredible. So I want to show you guys that. And I apologize, this is a little, I probably should have zoomed in more here, but it's a little small. Hopefully you guys can see it. This is basically just my combination of momentum indicators that does an even better job at predicting these moves. So this is again the same chart, same time period, the S&P 500 daily chart, and these are the corrections. But notice how we either got out of the market to protect ourselves or got into a strategy that lets us profit, like buying puts, for instance, closer to the top, right? So you remember the MACD got us kind of in on some of these more midway, and we're in these trades, if we're buying puts, for instance, pretty darn close to the top. And again, this works going on in the other direction. I mean, look how incredibly accurate this is when you use these combination of momentum indicators to pinpoint turning points, shifts in momentum in the market. It's incredibly accurate. So that's all well and good, right? What does this mean in dollar terms? So just look at that one example on the far right of the screen, the December sell-off, because that was a bad one, right? A lot of people that knocked people out. I personally know people that were trading last year that are no longer trading because this one move alone in December wiped them out, which I hate to see that. I hate to see that because they could have made a ton of money on this. So that's what I'm just going to put this in dollar terms for you. If for you options traders out there, if you had bought only 10 at-the-money put contracts when these momentum indicators told us, hey, the momentum's shifting, the market's probably going to sell off here. Nearly 10 grand on only 10 at-the-money put contracts on this move. Okay, this is a screenshot from my TD Ameritrade brokerage account. All right, I use TD Ameritrade to trade. I use Thinkorswim. So it's pretty incredible, right? I mean, you can make a lot of money on these moves, and this is only on 10 contracts. It's scalable. Trade 20 contracts, make 20 grand, right? Trade 40 contracts, make 40 grand. And the beauty is when you can pinpoint these momentum shifts, you can use very tight stops. Your accuracy goes through the roof. All right. This is something I normally don't do, guys. I'm actually a really modest guy. I don't like bragging, and that's not the purpose of this. These are live screenshots from my Thinkorswim account. And the reason I'm showing you these is because these are trades that I made using these techniques that I'm teaching you guys today. Okay, I just want to show you what's possible. Nothing crazy here. By the way, these are futures trades. I trade options, I trade stocks, I trade futures. These are just some examples of some futures trades. Again, nothing crazy here. One contract per trade. That's all these were, using these momentum indicators. Profit of over 8 grand in a day. Profit of over $6,500 in a day. 6,000 in a day. 5,400 in a day. All right. And I typically, I'm a big advocate of diversification. I teach that to all my students, how to diversify. I mean, not every one of these were winners, as you can see. There were a couple little losers in these screenshots. I don't claim to, I don't claim to be, somebody who can predict every single trade with complete accuracy. So there are losers from time to time, but I diversify, and most of my trades are winners. And this is what's possible using the techniques that I teach. Okay, here's a few more. This first one on the left, I remember very well because this was actually during that December correction that we just looked at. All right, 10% correction, wiped a lot of people out of the market. I made nearly $14,000 that day, that particular day during the major part of the correction, with over $21,000 in open profit. All right, so you'll see some more examples here, guys. This is what's possible, okay? And this is what we teach. We teach and coach our traders how to have days like this. So my promise to you guys for being here with us today is to help you have days just like these. And I'm going to coach you exactly how I do it. Exactly. Okay. No guarantees. I'm not going to guarantee you're going to actually reproduce what I do, but I am going to show you exactly how I do it. That's my promise. So I'm going to give you guys a one-time opportunity to join me to discover how I make large amounts of money in the markets day after day, week after week. These aren't flukes. I gave you a lot of examples there. I do this on a consistent basis. I do it week after week. So I'm going to reveal every one of my special techniques and indicators that make profits like this possible with absolutely nothing held back. You're going to get everything, every tool I use, every technique I use, everything. And here's my guarantee. If you don't make money with this in the first 90 days, sorry, I jumped ahead there. If you don't make money with this in the first 90 days, I'm going to give you an extra 90 days of personal one-on-one with me. And I'm going to give you an extra 90 days of signals that do everything for you. No guesswork. It's going to give you all the entries, exits, stop losses, everything you need to make money. That's the goal. So if you don't make money in the first 90 days, and I'm going to give you an exact checklist on how to do it. You're going to, I mean, there's no guesswork here, guys. And if you follow that checklist that I give you and you don't make money in the first 90 days, I'm going to throw in an extra 90 days of exact trading signals that will help you make money. And then I'm going to give you personal one-on-one attention and help hold your hand through the whole process till you're making money. That's how serious I am about this. All right. We're going to be holding our first live trade session, showing you guys all these techniques that we just talked about next Thursday, April 11th, 7 p.m. Eastern. If you can't make it, don't worry. We do record everything. You'll be able to see it and rewatch it as many times as you want at your leisure. So next Thursday, mark your calendars, April 11th, 7 p.m. Eastern. You're not going to want to miss this. We just scratched the surface here of what's possible. I'm going to dig a lot deeper into these momentum techniques and how you can use them to make money in any market. Okay, so it doesn't matter what market you're trading. We're gonna dig deep into how to make money in that market. Okay, I call this our Trade Trend Mastermind group. So we get together on a regular basis. And by the way, we have a members section. You get access to all the members' instructional videos and everything you need to be successful in this group. Okay, and I'm going to get into everything that comes along with our Trade Trend Mastermind group, but it's incredible. I mean, you're going to see some pretty cool stuff in our group. We meet on a regular basis. We do live trade sessions. We cover many different strategies. I'll get into that here in a sec. I don't want to jump ahead of myself. So we have a lot of members that are doing very well with us. I just want to kind of let you know what our members are saying. Jay Thomas has a very impressive results. Well done. Thanks for helping us little guys with small accounts who dream of growing our accounts over time and reaping the benefits of consistent monthly income. How refreshing to have someone produce a product that does what it says, Frank says. I thought it was too good to be true at first, but you've proven me wrong. Thanks and keep up the good work. Chris says, first of all, I want to thank you for providing such a first-class service. It's really the only one that delivers on promise, and I've tried a few. After having demo traded for nearly 2 months, I'm now happy to go live. Alan says, I've been involved with lots of software testing. Trade Trend seems to do exactly as it says so far, and I could find some really nice setups. Craig says, my first trade paid for the entire package. Nothing ever works for me this fast. I wish I would have found you guys last year before the big market dips. Okay, these are just a handful of our many happy members, okay, and testimonials. So here's our exclusive membership to the Trade Trend Mastermind group. You get live trade sessions. You get everything that covers stocks, futures, options, forex, iron condors. We cover long calls and long puts, credit spreads. You get exclusive access to our Facebook group, vertical debit spreads. You get much more. Okay, this is just, again, scratching the surface. And you get lifetime private access to all of this. It doesn't go away. So again, we're here to make sure that you become a consistent, profitable trader. We're also going to throw in a special bonus, and I'll talk a little bit more about this in a second, to a select group of our members today. That is our professional trading series. It's over 9 hours of video content you can watch on demand that covers stocks, stocks, options, and forex, and it covers all of our best strategies. And here's the cool thing: it also covers trade adjustments. So anyone can can put a trade on and get lucky and have a winning trade, right? But we all have losing trades. That's inevitable. So the key is, what do you do? How do you handle a losing trade? What do you do when things go south on you? Because it happens to even the best of us. So I go into depth on how to adjust losing trades. So we have special techniques that we use that can actually take a losing trade and turn it into a winning trade for options, forex, and stocks. So really cool bonus that I'm throwing in for you guys, and I'll tell you how you can get that here in just a second. So you're probably wondering, okay, this is a lot of stuff. This is a great guarantee. This technique is amazing. It does a great job at pinpointing momentum shifts, and it's going to help me tremendously with whatever strategy or market I'm So how much is it, right? So normally we charge about $3,900 for this package, which is still a deal. Craig, for example, said he made his money back with one trade, so that's possible, and that's the idea. But we have a very special offer. This is only good for today, guys, so it is limited, and we're going to limit the number of seats as well. We are giving you the one-time opportunity to get in at $997. Again, this is lifetime access, so this is not an annual membership fee. This is not a recurring payment. This is a one-time lifetime access. You're with us for life, and we're going to make sure that you have all the tools you need to be a consistent, profitable trader. Now, I mentioned that bonus. The first 10 people that join us today are going to get that professional trading series bonus. Okay, that's valued at $700. I really like to say that it's valued at like $7,000 because we have members that make far more than that using the techniques that I teach. But we do sell it for $700, which is a bargain. We're giving this away for free as a bonus to the first 10 people that join our group today, the Trade Trend Mastermind group. So we're really excited to be able to offer that as well. All right, all you have to do is go to tradetrend.com/thirsty. You can join us. We are limiting this to 50 members today. So once the seats are filled, we aren't going to take anybody else. We do keep our groups relatively small because we want to provide the best possible coaching and service to every single person that joins our group. All right, I'm throwing in an extra bonus. So that's all. That's a lot of stuff already. But I'm going to actually take this a step further because, and the reason I'm doing this is I want you guys to be able to get up and running immediately. I'm going to be frank. Some of this training does take work. So you know, it may be a little bit of time before you can, you know, be self-sufficient and be doing this on your own. And that's the goal, is for us to get you to a point where you're trading successfully on your own without us holding your hand. But in the meantime, what if you could actually start using all this information Monday when the market opens? So we're going to make that possible for you, and we're going to cut the learning curve starting tomorrow. Okay, so I'm going to give you, I programmed all of my momentum indicators into a signal package, and I'm going to give you access to that for 3 months on the house, complimentary. Okay, so you can use it starting immediately. By the time that 3 months is up, I think you'll be very proficient at trading these strategies on your own. But in the meantime, I want you to have the tool to be able to make these trades if you decide you want to. And this package lets you get in before the MACD signal. It gives you a proprietary blend of momentum indicators that produce nearly instant profits. It predicts short-term and long-term trends with astounding accuracy. It works with stocks, futures, forex. You can screen for trades in seconds in any market. It works on any time frame. You can backtest to see the results before you place a trade. You can supercharge your option strategies. You can use this to pinpoint turning points in the market, momentum shifts, and buy calls and puts and do make some really incredible trades. And you can do it like a pro without any guesswork. So this is a tool to help you get in immediately. All right, I want to look at some examples of what this tool can give you right away. All right, so the green diamonds and arrows show you long trades. The red diamonds and arrows show you short trades. This is one I like to trade a lot, the TNA, the Direction Small Cap Bull ETF, and I do really well trading this particular ETF. So I want to share some examples of the signals that you'll get with the Trade Trends signal software. All right, $5,400 in profit on this first move. $2,000, and this is just based on 1,000 shares before commissions and fees. All right, there's a $5,800 profit before commissions and fees. $3,000. Okay, this last move here produced over $14,000 in profit. All right, and it's all based on the identifying these momentum shifts that I'm teaching you guys. Right, so look what's possible. Okay, this very last one on the screen, over $8,000 in profit. Okay, these are only 6 trades on one symbol, one ticker, the TNA, nearly $40,000 in profit, guys. So hopefully you can see what's possible. And this is what you're going to be able to use starting next week. Okay, you'll still get all the training, but this is just an added bonus. You guys can get a head start. All right, and this is what it looks like. Okay, I just picked one. This is Micron, ticker MU. I picked one example out of the middle of the chart here. There's obviously a lot of winning trades on this chart. This one produced a nice little profit of $3,500. And you'll notice on the left side that it tells you exactly where to get in, where to put your buy order, where to put your stop loss order, how to trail your stop. So it's all done for you. There's really nothing you need to interpret. All you need to do is just put the order in with your broker, and you're good to go. And so this is what we like to call, earn while you learn, right? So you can start making money quickly, and in the meantime, we're going to teach you how to do it. I want to dig a little bit more into some trade examples using those signals. So this is, again, Micron. I kind of cherry-picked an example out of the middle of that chart there. I want to show you 5 consecutive trades that Trade Trend identified towards the end of 2018, last year, when that major correction occurred, right? Because yeah, anyone can cherry pick trades, that worked out at the right time in the market, right? But these are all examples from October through December when we were on Mr. Toad's Wild Ride and the market was dropping 10%, okay? So you got to put up the proof. How does this perform during wild markets? Because most people don't do well during those market environments, right? So the signals produce nearly $13,000 in profit if you just bought the stock, right? And these are relatively short-term trades, October 22nd to the 31st, just, you know, less than 10 days, the 1st to the 9th, November 28th to December 4th. These, you know, just a week or two in these trades, and look at these profits, December 10th to the 26th, and then December 27th through January 7th, all right? If you're an options trader, you could have simply bought calls and puts and put up a fraction of the money, made nearly $7,000 in profits on these trades, okay? So this works very well in these types of market environments. This is another chart of the SPY, the S&P. I just want to give you guys an idea of what our TradeThirsty Mastermind Group members are doing relative to the MACD alone, because that's what we focused on today, right? The MACD here did a very nice job at telling us there's a momentum continuation and the market's going to be going up, and it did. But our TradeThirsty Group members got in a week earlier using the combination of momentum indicators that we teach, right? So what does that mean in terms of dollars? It actually means a lot. So if you had simply bought 10 call options on the MACD signal and got out when the momentum the indicators told us the momentum was slowing down, you could have made $335 on 10 call options. Not bad. But when you're a TradeThirsty Group member, our members could have made nearly $5,000 on this one move, buying 10 at the money call contracts. So that's the power of our TradeThirsty Mastermind Group. This is what we teach. We teach you how to do much, much better than the MACD does by itself. All you got to do is go to TradeThirsty.com/thirsty to join us today. I see we've already got a lot of people on board. That's exciting. Happy for you guys. Hey, I'm throwing in an extra bonus on top of what I've already told you guys. I've actually identified a really great setup for Monday. So if for some reason you don't get everything up and running, I know this is a lot. Hey, by the way, we don't expect to get up. This is something we're going to help you with, and we'll get you set up. But if you're not able to get set up by Monday, I've already identified a prime setup, and I want to share it with you. So this is a really cool opportunity. It's one of the better ones I've seen in a while, and our TradeThirsty Group members are getting access to this trade starting Monday. So I want to give this to you guys. If you join me today, I'll be sending this out to you over the weekend, and you'll have it. It's actionable. You can use it for Monday if you decide to. All right. It only takes one, guys. Remember what Craig said. His very first trade paid for his subscription. One winning trade could pay for your lifetime membership to my TradeThirsty Mastermind Group, okay? It only takes one, and I want you to be prepared for the next correction. That's priceless, okay? You can't put a price on being prepared for these types of momentum shifts and moves and corrections and crashes. We're going to have another crash. I want you guys to be ready for it. But not only that, I want you to make money on it, okay? Yeah, I was just in New York at the Traders Expo a couple weeks ago, and it almost brought me to tears. My partner Richard and I talked to far too many people who lost incredible amounts of money last year. We talked to a couple people that lost over $100,000 in December on that correction. That's terrible when they should have been making money on that type of move. So it's priceless, guys. We don't want you wiping out your account. We want you making money on these types of moves. So be prepared for the next crash. It's priceless. All right, I want to open this up to Q&A. I see we've already got quite a few questions in the chat box. So we'll start addressing those. Remember, you get all of this, lifetime access, all of our strategies, all of our best techniques to make money on momentum shifts and continuations. Go to TradeThirsty.com/thirsty, and we'll start answering some questions here. You're also going to get live trade sessions 4 times per month. You get the one-on-one coaching, exclusive invitation-only Facebook group access, by the way. I think I mentioned that earlier. If not, that's worth its weight in gold. We have members that you can talk to and run ideas by, and Richard and I, my partner Richard, we get in and interact in the Facebook group and answer questions. Again, the bonus professional trading series, 13 modules, over 9 hours of content. And again, it's just a one-time membership, okay? You know, I know people that charge twice this every single year for much less than what we're offering. So we're giving you guys a lot of stuff to help you make money in the markets at a one-time entry, okay, fee. So it's a really great deal. Again, TradeTrend.com/thirsty. So let's see, what questions do we have? Let's see. Scott says, I want to purchase, but I need to use PayPal credit for points and terms. Yeah, Scott, we can work with you. We'll get you set up. Let me have Jeanette. I think if you go to the landing page, Jeanette, we're set up on PayPal, I believe, so you should be good. If you have any trouble, once you get to the TradeTrend.com/thirsty, let us know, and we'll get you taken care of. Karen's asking, do the indicators work on 60-minute charts? Yeah. Oh, thank you so much for asking that, Karen. I neglected to mention this, and maybe I did mention it, but I didn't elaborate on it enough. It does work on any time frame. It does work on 60-minute charts, daily, monthly. We cover all of that. So whether you're a day trader, we actually have people who trade on tick charts. That's just not my style. I mainly trade daily charts, but we do offer that ability. So whether you're trading a tick chart or a monthly chart, yes, it works on everything. That's the beauty of momentum. That's why I use momentum in my trading, because momentum is really works independent of time frame. Momentum and trends occur on every time frame. Let's see. Okay. Let's see what other questions. Okay, so Joe's asking, sorry I missed it, does the trade trend indicator require any special platform or software? Yeah, so again, we give you 3 complimentary months of access to that via the Metastock platform. We also will have it on TradeStation here by April 15th. Then we're also launching on Ninja towards the end of the month, I believe April 30th. Yes, absolutely. Let's see, and there's so many questions coming in. If there are any, Jeanette, that you see that I'm missing, let me know. Let's see. So Ed's asking, besides the MACD, what other indicators are coupled with it to improve accuracy? Those are the ones that we looked at on that slide. So we looked at like the ADX and the CCI and the RSI. Let's see.
All right, I see a question, forgive me if you answered it already, but do you have to trade during the day, and are the live sessions recorded?
Great question. So our live sessions actually take place while the market's closed. So that's the beauty of it. We look at the charts that from the current trading day, and we teach you how to make decisions based on the closing prices. So you can use that information, of course, to day trade if you choose to do so, but we don't day trade ourselves. So we're teaching you how to do this the way that we trade, and they are recorded. So you can go back and rewatch them at your leisure. You can watch them as many times as you want. Again, it's lifetime access. There's no limit to that. And so yes, absolutely. But we do hold the sessions, excuse me, in the evening, because we realize a lot of you guys have day jobs and things like that, and we want you to have access to the recordings, but we hope that you can join live too, because you'll get a lot out of the live format. So a good question.
Okay, and this is a question I saw a couple times today. I'm just going to say it this way. The videos, are they on demand forever, or do they expire? Those videos expire, like can they watch them more than once?
Yeah, great question. So yeah, they can watch them more than once. They don't expire. Again, lifetime access. We don't take them down. And there's a reason we do that, guys, because it is a lot of information, and anything that's new to somebody, it takes a while to it's kind of like watching a movie, right? Like, why do we watch some movies over, or more than once? Yeah, we get enjoyment out of it, but you guys can probably identify with that, right? You watch something a second or third time, and you pick something up that you missed that very first time you watched it, right? It's just how our brains work. you know, we focus in on certain things and we tend to ignore other things inadvertently, not necessarily intentionally. So that's why we have the members section with all of our past recordings. So you're going to get immediate access to that when you join us today. So there's already 10 plus hours of content that you're going to have immediate access to, training covering all of these strategies. So yeah, great question. And that's why we do it, is because rewatching the content and the training is going to really help it sink in, and it's going to teach you guys. So it'll be like second nature to you. It'll be like the back of your hand. You're going to get to where I am right now, where I can actually trade this without even thinking about it, you know. And so it's pretty cool. Let's see. Scott put it. I think Richard's on today. Scott put his number up in the Q&A. I don't know if you're able to see that. I'll take it down. Thanks, Scott. We'll give you a call and get in touch with you and make sure you're all taken care of.
All right, Jeff. Amir is asking if you can scan for a basket of stocks. Does TradeTrill allow you to scan for a basket of stocks?
It does. In fact, I've got it on my screen. Let me just toggle over to it here. It does let you scan. So it gives you a lot of different functionality. So I'll just, and you can really, here's the cool thing about it, because we have a lot of members that are international. We've got students in China, India, all over the place. You can actually scan any international market, which is pretty cool. If you want to trade the Australian stock market, you can do that. And you can create your own scans. I like to scan, when I'm trading options, for the weekly options, all the stocks, equities, ETFs that have weekly options on them. So yeah, we can do that. So we've got trade trend, and we've got, that's my future scan, weekly options. And then all you have to do, you choose your interval, okay, 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute. We'll use the daily, and then you just click start exploration. And it's going to give you all of the setups at your fingertips. And I apologize, it's going to go a little bit slower than it normally would, because the webinar software does take up a lot of bandwidth. Normally this will run in about 20, 30 seconds, and you got the entire list at your fingertips of opportunities, and you get them ahead of time, guys. This isn't something like, oh great, I got the signal, but oh man, I went into my, put the trade in and it's already moved. Now you get this an entire, if you're trading daily charts, for instance, you get this an entire 1 to 3 days ahead of time. So you know beforehand, once you run your scan, what your trades are potential trades are gonna be. If you're trading a 15-minute chart, you're gonna know an entire 15 to 45 minutes ahead of time, hey, this is the trade I need to enter with my broker. This is the stop loss. Everything is given to you ahead of time, right? I promised you guys today that this is predictive, right? This is not something that, it's going to tell you, and darn it, you just missed it. This is going to give you everything in advance, right? And we're going to teach you guys how to do this too, by the way. This is just that bonus tool that you're going to get complimentary access to for 3 months. And by the end of those 90 days, you guys are going to be, rock stars. You're going to be making money on a consistent basis. That's our goal for you guys. Remember, if you don't hit that goal following our checklist, we're going to give you an extra 3 months of this tool until you're comfortable with it and you're doing it. Okay. But there's our scan. So that it gives you everything. Long setups. It gives you short setups. It gives you everything. It's still running the shorts right now. We got 71 opportunities on the equities and ETFs that have weekly options. Sorry, 112 results. Any other questions?
Yeah, I see a question. I don't want to interrupt you. Okay, does this work for beginning traders or just people that have been around for a while? Great
question. Oh, geez, I'm so glad you asked that. So we have students that are completely green, never even opened an account with a broker before. We have professional traders that trade for a living, and everything in between. It runs the gamut. So we teach everything you need to know, guys. This is coaching. It's our Trade Trend Mastermind group. We work with you guys on an individual basis. So this isn't a cookie cutter program like you're probably used to seeing, where they just give you give everybody the same exact thing. We don't do that. If you need help with something, we're going to help you. Okay, if you're brand new, we're going to tell you what you need to know to get started. If you're already a pro trader, we're going to help you take you to a next level. We're going to get you even higher than where you are. It doesn't matter where you're starting, but we're going to take you to a point where you're even better than you are today. That's our promise. That's part of our guarantee. If you follow our checklist, we're going to get you there. So it is up to you guys. You know, there has to be accountability, right? You guys have to take accountability and do some work on your own. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that. You guys gotta put the work in. But if you do it, you're gonna get there. That's our guarantee and our promise. Okay.
All right, can you use the MACD to leg into iron condors? It's maybe a more advanced question, but.
Yeah, that is a more advanced question, and I'm actually glad you asked that one. I mean, these are actually really great questions. I'm actually impressed with these questions that you guys are asking. So we do get into legging in to iron condors and credit spreads. Yes, we cover all of that. In fact, I use that technique myself. I often leg into trades and scale out of trades. And that actually is part of our adjustment training when we adjust trades. Absolutely. So you can use, in fact, you're going to find that these momentum shifts that you can identify at market tops and bottoms are going to improve the accuracy of strategies like iron condors and credit spreads, because what you can do is you can open your put spread, and when we're identifying a shift to the upside, and then you can wait and leg in and open the call spread once we see a shift in the other direction. And what you've done is not only brought in more credit, more income for yourself, you've also widened your profit zone. So if you would put the whole trade on at once, you would end up in a situation where you've got a tighter profit zone. Your short puts and calls are going to be closer together, and your probability of success, not to mention your income, your profit, are going to be much less. When you can use these momentum shifts, and we again teach all of this to our members, how to do this, then you can widen your profit zone and increase your income. That's the beauty of it, of identifying these momentum shifts. Great question. Let's see, Mary's asking, does your program identify stocks for option sells? Yes, yeah, we cover selling options as well. Absolutely. In fact, I'm a big I sell puts. I'm a big put seller. It's one of my core strategies. So we do teach that strategy. We also teach two really incredible adjustment techniques for that strategy, because a lot of people selling puts, by the way, guys, it's not a risky strategy. A lot of people think it is. But when you do it correctly, it's not. It's actually less risky than buying stock. It carries the same risk profile as a covered call. Nobody's out there saying, hey, covered calls are extremely risky. People are out there saying selling naked puts is risky. They don't know what they're talking about. Those two strategies have the exact same risk profiles. Where the risk comes in is when people over leverage themselves with naked puts. We teach how to trade that strategy with proper risk management, money management, and then we also teach how to make adjustments to that strategy. You get that in the members area. You'll have immediate access to that. In fact, it's already in the members section. And then those adjustment techniques are incredible. In fact, we run an alert service. I don't want to get us off track here, but just real quick, just to give you an idea, we do run an alert service for writing puts at our company, and we have closed over, I believe we're close to 200 winning trades in a row. I know that's hard to believe, over the past 4 years, but that includes trade adjustments. So those are all of our closed trades, and about 15% of those, 15, not 50, 15, we had to make adjustments to, but those adjustments actually turned a losing trade into a winning trade. So we do teach all of that in our members section, yes. Aaron's asking, how many hours do you spend a day trading the market? I don't want to be behind the computer all day long. I want a strategy that will fit my lifestyle. Oh, thanks for saying that, Aaron. You're like my dream student. Yes, that's my methodology as well. I don't want to be at my computer all day. In fact, I'm a little bit cranky for being at my computer on a Saturday morning. Although it's a joke. I'm happy to be here with you guys. I'd rather be out doing something else, to be frank, because I love getting out and doing stuff outside. But I don't spend my days at the computer. All of our strategies that we teach are hands-off. They take about 10, 15 minutes a day once you're proficient with them. So you don't need to be at the computer. But with that said, if you do like to day trade, you can certainly use everything we teach and apply it to day trading as well. Let's see. Steve's asking, do you teach management and adjustments of iron condors and credit spreads? Yes, we do. In fact, that's all already in the member section as well. So if you want to learn to trade iron condors correctly, consistently and profitably, and you want to learn how to make adjustments to those trades when they don't work out, because we have a lot of iron condor and credit spread traders, and I trade them myself as well from time to time. There's a major drawback to them, which I'm sure you're familiar with, is that well, the advantage is they can be pretty consistent. You know, you can hit 7, 8, 9 winners in a row, but then that 10th trade comes along and wipes out all your profits. So we teach how to avoid those situations, and then we teach how to adjust losing trades to actually turn them into profitable trades. You know, and again, that doesn't work 100% of the time. There's always going to be losing trades, but we teach how to manage those, keep them contained, and then we also teach how to adjust credit spreads and iron condors. So good question, Steve. Thanks for asking. Jones asking, if you have lifetime, what is the 3-month of trade? Oh, okay. So yeah. So the lifetime is our trade trend mastermind group. So again, everything you see on your screen, you get the live trade sessions, one-on-one coaching, access to our members area, our Facebook group, our professional trading series, and all the coaching, all the personal attention. You get VIP email access to me, not to, you know, so many companies out there will, offer something up and then you never talk to the trader again. Okay, this is a unique opportunity. You're getting access to me. I'm the trader, and you're going to have access directly to me, VIP email access, and hand-holding from me to help you be successful. That's pretty rare out there nowadays, guys. You're not going to see that very often. In fact, I almost never see that. What I do see is I see, guys giving these presentations. The trader will give the presentation, and then next thing you know, one of their guys that they've hired that's never traded, once in his lifetime is trying to help you out. You're not going to get that with us. You get help from the traders at our company, and Richard as well. So Richard is my partner. He's also a trader. He's going to be helping us as well. And so the 3 months is the extra bonus of the signals. If you want to get up and running Monday and start using these trades, that's what you're going to get, is the 3 months of bonus signals. Let's see. Curdy's asking gaps between close and open hurt options. Can some gaps be identified? I mean, it's impossible to predict a gap. I mean, you'll know what's going to happen by looking at the futures or looking at aftermarket stock trades. But the cool thing, I think you're actually going to be amazed with this, Curdy, that the momentum, the vast majority of the time predicts the gap in the right direction. We show you that, so it's pretty cool. Let's see. Mary's asking, is MetaStock included in the offer? Yeah. You guys get that the complimentary access 3 months, no additional charge. We actually pay that out of our pocket for you guys. And again, if you're not making money after 90 days with us, we'll do it again for another 90 days. You don't have to pay anything else, guys. That's it. If you don't want to stick with that, that's fine. But let's see. Steve's asking, will your signals work on Schwab's charting platform? We're not integrated with Schwab, but yeah, I mean, you still get the signals, and then you can just put the order in with your broker. That's what I do, guys. I just take the signals, and because I'm not giving you guys something I don't use myself. I use this, to make money myself. I use Thinkorswim, so I just, put the trade in with my broker. Easy. John's asking, have you used TOS platform? Yeah, that's the one I use, John. I use TOS. I've actually, we talked about this on yesterday's call. I was actually one of the first day tech. I don't know if you guys were around about 20 years ago when day tech was around. One of the first day tech subscribers, members, and before before TD Ameritrade bought them out. So I had a day tech account, and that converted over to TD Ameritrade account, and I've been with them ever since. So. And then, of course, the Thinkorswim platform came along. It's a great platform, so I use it. Let's see. Anything else? We're a little over our time allotment. Anything else, Jeanette, that you see that we should address, or are we good?
No, I think if you'll go ahead and remind them of the date of the next, those people who are signing up right now, so they can go ahead and calendar it. The day of your next live event. I saw it earlier.
Yeah, I'll just go back here.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Your next live thing, so that they know that they got to go ahead and put that up. I didn't realize it was as far back.
That's okay. We'll get back there.
There it is. Okay. All right. Maybe copy that and paste it in other slide. Then you can just leave it up, because I've seen a couple people ask about that. And so.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Next Thursday.
Where to be and when to be there. So after they buy, like they're gonna get an email from you or something that gives them all this access, and they can start digging around over the weekend. Exactly.
Yep. You get immediate access. So when you guys join us today, you're going to get an email right away with all your member login details. So you'll be able to have immediate access to all of the training that we've talked about today. And then going forward, you'll get all of the additional training that we hold and all of our live trading sessions. So guys,
I just saw another question pop in there. The question is, as far as the TradeThirsty software, is it going to be available on other platforms?
Yeah, again, guys, Metastock and then TradeStation we have coming up April 15th, and then Ninja we've got coming April 30th. And we don't stop. We look at demand. We look to see. We're trying to get on the most commonly used platforms, and so we are always taking member feedback. If you want to see it on something else, let us know, and we'll look into that. So
one of the cool things about you guys, though, is that what you've got built in here is for them to be able to use Metastock for 90 days and no charge. Like there's no cost to them, literally, and they're going to install it for you. Metastock's going to install it for you, and then you and your team are going to help them finish it out and get the indicator loaded up. And so it's really not about platform at this point, right? It's really just about getting in there, learning how to use it, and making money with it.
Spot on. You got it.
Okay. Awesome sauce. All right. Well, thanks for coming today. And you guys, Jeff's going to leave his, if you'll go back to your last slide. I don't know if you've popped it back up yet. He's going to leave his last slide up for y'all. And I'll be here for the next couple of minutes. But I want to thank everybody for coming out on this Saturday, and thank Jeff and his team for being available to share their content with you today and spend their hour with you. Their time's valuable, and so is yours, and we don't take it lightly that you came and spent this time with us. So y'all have a great weekend, and Jeff and Rich and all of you guys over there at TradeThirsty, I appreciate y'all spending this morning with me.
Likewise, Jeanette. Thanks so much, and thanks everybody for joining. Have a great Saturday.
All right. Bye.